Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakudash.
Double honors to the apostle J. Master Ruel and shalom to the faithful men so always continually doing the work of the Lord. All right, Lord willing, Jim is Columbus, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? For another camp day, you know, the Lord bless us. For another lesson, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we can go into various topics, just, you know, recent things that have been going on, and touch on a couple, No Kings protests and things like that. But real quick, so I seen. Matter of fact, actually, that's perfect because it's going to tie into the protest. Because, what's his name? Your boy Trump, he been doing a lot of AI videos and shit. You know, a lot of, one was like talking about him as a Grim Reaper, talking about the Democrats and shit. So that goes to the Civil War and things and the division. But also, going to that No Kings protest, you got one where he was an AI, him flying a fucking jet with a crown on. And going over the protesters and shitting on them. It was weird. I don't know if y'all seen that, but it's just weird. Like, that's not a behavior for a president. You know what I'm saying? And it just reminded me of this scripture. Can we get that Ecclesiastes?
This is a book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, and verse 16.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes 10, verse 16, it says, "Woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning."
Right. In this society, the king is a child. The modern day king is the president, even though we know that they're really just puppets, but they just child, not only because of just behavior, but their actions too. Because look at your people, look at your subjects, look at the people that's under you. Everybody here, or the majority of people here, is just on that YOLO type vibration. What the scripture says that they live deliciously. That's how a child lives. Or even a damn woman, because that woman, she got a mind of a child. You know, it's just nothing but just pleasure. That's why these people in this world, in America chiefly, are becoming more weaker and weaker, not prepared to fight an actual battle. But now they trying to hurry up and bring shit back to the old nature, but it's too late. You know what I'm saying? It's too late for this place. All right, but you got it too.
Verse 17, it says, "Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season for strength and not for drunkenness."
Right. So the kings will be nobles. Who's the true nobles? The true nobles, the so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans. Right now, only the 1/3. You know, the 2/3, they wicked as hell. But in the kingdom, we're gonna be true. All of us gonna be true nobles. These damn heathens, they just heathens. They stupid. They docile. You know. They try to go off their own gods, and that's all bullshit. That's why we're in the kingdom. We're gonna teach them our laws, and that's how they're gonna have common sense. You know. Other than that, they through. You got say something?
Oh no, I'm just ad-libbing the vanity. They're just vain. They're vain.
Yeah.
You know, that's why they need something to do, which is slavery.
Look at that same verse in different translation. No matter. So whatever you see.
It's like this Ecclesiastes 10, verse 16 in the NLT. It says, "What sorrow for the land ruled by a servant, the land whose leaders feast in the morning."
Right, because it's ruled by a servant. Because why? Because heathens are supposed to be our servant. That's what they was made for. That's what they was created for. Can we get that Psalms 2, where it says, "Give the nations for your heritage," and also we can get that kings walking on horses. You know what I'm talking about? Ecclesiastes. Oh, matter of fact, ain't that 10?
This is 10, 11, 10, 11. Up this verse?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
This is Psalm chapter 2 at the top. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing?"
Why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? These heathen got in their mind to the MOTB. They really think they're about to see hit every single person and get rid of us. That's a foolish thing. I mean, they're gonna be able to get it a certain amount, but they're not gonna be able to get the whole world, to have the whole world in control. They foolish. They thinking they about to go to fucking Mars and Jupiter and all kinds of shit. The Lord cutting all this shit off. You know, but you got it.
Back at it, Psalms 2 and 1 at the top. It says, "Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Most High and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us.
Right, and you gotta know that, man, that these higher ups, these elites, these, you know, they understand who the Most High is, and they know who His people is, and it's against Him and His people and an anointed Yahweh Shai. That's why they whitewash history. You know, they still do that to this day. You know, they gave us plantation Christianity. You know, they gave us the slave Bible. You know, and all kinds of other shit. They took the woman, gave her power, to give power to your children. You know, they put shit in your food, all that to destroy you. You know what I'm saying? But you got it.
It says, he that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure.
Oh, that's why the Lord laughing at them, because He knows that His time is coming. Because again, the heathen, they imagine a vain thing. They really think that they're about to continue forever. That they're about to really go to galaxy and just continue. But the Lord, he sees your end. He knows the exact day, the exact time that He's gonna put this shit to a close. You know, and probably the most foolish thing that this nigga Esau Edom thinks is that when the Lord returns, Yahweh Shai, that He gonna actually shoot down the chariots. You know what I'm saying? Hell no. But you got it.
It's called being bugged out. It says, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath and vex them in sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree, Lord Yahweh. The Lord Yahweh hath said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance.
Right, because speaking of Yahweh Shai, you know, but like we always say, or the scriptures say, that we join heirs. You know, He said, ask of me, and I'll give the heathen for your inheritance. If you inherit something, that means that's your property. That's what these heathens was literally created for our pleasure, for our, you know, for them to carry water and bring us water and fruits and wine and all that shit. You know,
daughters.
Yeah, hell yeah. Keep getting out that. You got it.
It says, thou art my... Yes, sir. It says...
That Ezra's too. I'm talking about Ezra 6.
The elder bro made mention that, you know, the heathen, etc., were intended to, you know, always be our slaves and be subject to us. And that's true via our law. You know, because, you know, due to the covenant, the promises, you know, they came with blessings. If we held our end of the bargain, this is what will happen, you know. Deuteronomy 28:13, it says, and Yahweh shall make thee the head and not the tail. You see, so if we were to, you know, upkeep our side of the bargain, we would have been the head, meaning everything under us or all people under us would have been subject to us, you know. It says, and not the tail. Thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of Yahweh thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them. But you know, again, you know, that's what these heathen were intended to play, the role that they were intended to play in the earth, man. To be subject to the nation of Israel, you know.
I'm trying to say, God, maybe something. Speak a different language.
Yeah. I think it's like Kush.
You got more of that?
So I'm gonna finish this precept up real quick. Mine. This back at
Hey, brother, you gonna miss your light.
You gonna miss your joint, man.
Green man.
I mean, whatever. I couldn't hear what.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
See, it's a heathen. I think that's like a Somalian or something.
Yeah,
Somalian. Stupid.
What the fuck was the nigga talking about?
Right.
No, back at in Psalms 2, back at verses 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
My fault. Can you read that again?
Yes, sir. Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession.
Right. Because like I said, this is from Yahweh Shai, but we join heirs. Yahweh Shai, you know, real quick. You know, it's a lot of scripture. Can you get that Isaiah 53 8, no, 53. Towards the end, he said he gonna divide the spoil. Alright, just to prove real quick that we join heirs with the Lord.
Oh, I get that too. You want me to get that real quick? Romans?
Hell yeah.
All right, this is Romans. Yeah, hot second. Romans 8.
Get my Romans and then Isaiah, yeah.
This is Romans 8, and I'm gonna start at 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Yahushua, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Joint heirs, Bible Shah. We must do it. We gotta do it. Can we look at that word heirs?
That's the spirit. That's the spirit. I wouldn't be able to do it on my phone.
Because Lord willing, we are princes, and Prince, he's an heir to the throne. That means he's about to inherit it.
Yasharada.
Yeah.
Prince of the power.
Yeah.
You're not just some regular type niggas, man. Oh, heathen. The Lord has promised us something. He promises heirs to the kingdom, man. All right? And we can't wait for that to happen, man. All right?
It's just like I'm trying to think of it was some king. It's like some other nation. I can't remember. I remember learning something. I was either watching history or maybe I was watching a movie or some shit. It was like a king. Oh, I think the king for the movie off of Netflix, I believe. I ain't really watching it in a long time, but the main character nigga, what's his name? Timothy. He was like the first one that's supposed to that was next to the kingdom, but he was like a drunkard or some shit. So his father was like, you ain't worthy. So then he's gonna let his other son rule. But then that's kind of like how us, the Lord, we fucked up our inheritance pretty much. The Lord like, nah, nigga, you ain't worthy. I ain't about to give you the kingdom right now. But then pretty much he proved himself, and then the king was like, all right, now you can be the king. And now eventually he became the king. Same thing with us. We fell from grace, and because we was drunkers, we was bullshitting, not following the Lord, and now we redeeming ourselves through the Lord, Yahushua, his blood. Yahushua is that mediator. Now Yahweh he's turning his face towards us now. Again, now he's giving us that second chance. Now y'all can rule. Y'all can come into the kingdom.
He's pleading for us.
Yep.
The word heir in the oil Salaki in the BLB, it reads, one who receives by lot, an heir, and it says in Messianic usage, one who receives his allotted possession by right of sonship.
Damn. My sonship, you gotta be Israelite, man. And you gotta be ordained from the beginning, because not everybody can believe this. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ordained. You gotta be handpicked from the Most High Himself, and then the Most High is gonna give you to Yahushua. That's what Yahushua. He said the Father have given you to me. And no man that He given to me is gonna fall out of my hands. Because we predestined, Lord willing.
It's like dealing with a son and a father dynamic. Your firstborn, he always receives the inheritance. So in that case, Yahweh being Yahushua, his firstborn, be Yahushua. Yahushua created us his elect. We're his firstborn. So we're going to receive, inheritance through him. Just like Yahushua received inheritance through Yahweh. That's the dynamic between a king and a prince, a father and a son.
I'm sorry.
It says one who has acquired or obtained the portion allotted to him. Like you said, allotted.
That means it was chosen. That's why you go into Genesis, who was chosen. All right, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, not Ishmael, Esau. It wasn't that way. And even though he was supposed to get the heir, all right, but it wasn't chosen that way because of predestination. All right, and you can't be butthurt about that, because the Lord don't give a fuck about your feelings, man. He don't give a fuck about what you think. All right, He just cares about what He got going on, man.
And real shows you the Lord don't care about your feelings. It's all about the Lord's will. Because you ever try to do something and you keep trying to do it, and the Lord just keep fucking your shit up because it's not the Lord's will. And he don't give a fuck. He's like, no, you ain't doing it and you ain't doing it. Same thing with Esau. He's trying his hardest to get that blessing, that artificial blessing back. But no matter what he tried, no matter how many rockets he's sending out, it's not gonna work, you know?
Yeah, nigga can't get. Nigga, that's why. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. That's why he couldn't get. He couldn't land on the moon.
Yeah.
It was all a Hollywood setup, because that's not the will. Now he might touch the heavens, or think he touched the heavens. In the eyes of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shem Al Shai, Esau, he was thinking about touching the heavens. Like, nigga, what you doing? That's why the Lord is jacking you this place up, because you niggas trying to reach the heavens, man. And if they probably flow up there a little bit, did some bullshit, but guess what? No, that's not the will. It was just for you to be more proud. We was the first ones because you was in a race with the Russians. All right. Lord ain't dealing with you fucking crackers, man, on that level. I got a precept. I got you.
Real quick, just to back up, brothers. Like you said, ultimately that inheritance, was ordained from, the Heavenly Father being the Yahweh Shai to the nation of Israel. No matter how it played out in the physical, This is Exodus 4:22. It says, "And thou shalt say unto the Pharaoh, Thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn." Right, so like I said, on the earth, it may have seemed as if Ishmael was supposed to receive the blessing. Other heathens were supposed to receive the blessing, like Esau, but Israel was ordained, to be the Heavenly Father's firstborn, being Yahweh Shai from the beginning. Alright, so we were set up in the heavens prior to being set up on the earth.
Yeah, real quick, Isaiah 55, and I'm gonna start at I'm gonna start at 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. And just piggyback, land back on the brothers. You know what I mean? Because you can't sway the Heavenly Father's thoughts or his or what he got going on. All right, you just gotta accept it. All right, and guess what? Through spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Al Shai, we accept it. That's claim. Don't worry about that. All right, then you can't worry about that either. So the Lord, this is His program, not ours, man. That's why brothers always getting on other camps, because you try to change up the program, change up the scriptures to your liking, to appease you. No, man, this is about Yahweh Shem Al Shai, and Lord's will. We accept that, man.
We're done with that, right? Read that, Isaiah 3:12.
This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12.
Isaiah 53:12. It says, therefore, right, this is a prophecy concerning Yahweh Shai. It says, therefore will I divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil of the strong, because he hath poured out his soul to death, and he was numbered with the transgressors.
So Yahweh, read up, goes into Yahweh Shai's sacrifice. So first he had to go through, he had to die on the cross, get brutally murdered and tortured, then put on the cross. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, then he could divide the spoil with the strong. Because going into what? The joint heirs. Because he, Lord willing, he could have kept all that glory to himself, but he thought about his brethren. So now he's gonna share that glory with his brothers too. Because why? Because you got brothers down here that's gonna suffer for Yahweh Shai too, just like he suffered for us. You know what I'm saying? Can be I'm just trying to get
Revelation. It's pretty much what you just said. Peter perfectly himself.
And also, Yatazak, can you get Hebrews 2? And I think it's like towards the end. You see. But you say you got precept, right?
Oh, I'm getting. Y'all go.
Let's see. I think it's Hebrews 2. favorites, man. 2, you can start up at like shit. Start at 7, really, you know. But you got yours yet? Yeah, you can read yours first. And then
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Revelations 20 and verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, and for the word of the Most High, Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his his mark, upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years. So that's just a quick, just show you, man. Like, this is not for vain, all right? Because when we doing this work, we going on to the highways and byways and the cold, the hot. We doing this for a reason, man. All right, so some brothers are going to get beheaded. Some brothers going to live to see that, that glory. But some brothers are going to come back, man. All right, the brothers that lost their lives, it tells you, I believe, Thessalonians, that we're going to come back and come back first, before the ones that live through this. Because brothers are going to get put to death, all right? That's already told in the scripture. That's prophesied. But it's...
Just real quick, this is Philippians chapter 1 and verse 29. It says, "For unto you it is given in the behalf of Hamashiach, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake, having the same conflicts which he saw in me, and now here to be in me." See, so when it comes to our service to the Lord, we're going to suffer as he did, and through that suffering is how we gain, our salvation. It's essentially securing our spot. You know what I'm saying? So 1 Peter chapter 4 at the top says, "For as much then as Mashiach have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourself likewise with the same mind, for he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin."
Right, because the Lord didn't just suffer in the flesh because of the crucifixion. That's the ultimate. But even before that, because what the Corinthians, it says, the Lord made himself poor for our sake. He was a man acquainted. Going back to Isaiah 53, it says he was a man acquainted with grief. You know what I mean? He was dealing with and I believe if you look at that word grief, it goes into, because Apostle Gabar goes into that. It goes into like sickness. So he probably had some type of sickness, mental or physical, whatever. He had spiritual powers, but he didn't heal it. He was suffering. Then, then he has, like I said, he got spiritual powers, so he probably seeing demons, and then you got the persecution with the Jews and the Romans. He was going through a lot of shit, all for our sake. And really, he could have ended all that shit. He could have came out, because he had spiritual powers. He could have made himself a grown man instantly and just become the richest nigga on the earth, whatever. But he suffered. He became poor. He had nowhere to lay his head. That's
just a real quick one, because you already said it. There's Matthew 26 and 53. Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? So yeah, our Lord Yahushua had the ability to do it, like the elder brother said, but he humbled himself because he knew what his mission was prior to that, going to get him embarrassed, spat on, crucified. He had the ability to do all that. And guess what? It don't take 12 legions of angels to tear this place up. It takes this one angel, but that's how Yahushua could flex on people like that if he wanted to.
Yeah. Hey man, Yahushua is the greatest example. Hey, because when you were saying that, I was thinking when he crossed, I believe the first time, if I'm not mistaken, they try to offer him the wine and vinegar. That's what the Romans do to ease the pain a little bit. I think the first time he rejected it, but I think the second time before he died, he took it. But pretty much going into he pretty much just took the pain all the way through. He could have got some type of remedy, but he was like, nah, I'm gonna take all this. You know what I'm saying? So that's, man, the Lord cold, man. That's why we read Readers, right?
Yeah, let's read it.
Sure, tripping. Oh, sorry. You can read that from the top again.
First Peter 4 at the top. For as much then as Hamashiach have suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that have suffered in the flesh have ceased from sin.
So we gotta arm ourselves like minds, because we're gonna go through the same shit. We're not gonna, of course, not a magnitude he went through, but we're gonna go through because what Yahweh said. The servant got that. Okay. It's like Yahweh said, the servant ain't greater than his master. What you got it?
Back you up. This is Galatians 2 and verse 20. It says, I am crucified with Hamashiach, nevertheless I live. Yet not I, but Hamashiach liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of the Most High, who loved me and gave himself for me.
That's because, hey, what the scripture said, you cease from sin, you cease from, you suffer, you pretty much cease from sin. And we nailed our sins to the cross. The Lord did that. You know what I'm saying? We dead to this world, you know? And we alive to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We ain't living for this world no more. We living for the Lord. And and if he died, hey, we're gonna die in the Lord too. You know? You got more?
First Peter 4 and verse 2 says that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High.
See how the spirit right there? That's just connected just like that. Because, you know, can you read that again, Bob Shaw?
Yep. First Peter 4 verse 2 says that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High.
Right. So we ain't gonna live our life, the rest of our lives, to the lust of the flesh, our own will, or the will of the world. We're gonna follow the will of the Lord. Because again, Yahweh Shai, he's the perfect example. One of my favorite scriptures, I quote that all the time. Yahweh Shai said, what? Not my will, but thy will be done. Of course he didn't want to get fucking crucified. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to. You know what I'm saying? But he said, I'm gonna do it anyway because that's the will of the Lord. You know? Hey, all of us really in our youth, we could have been did anything. I believe when we was driving, I believe we was listening to GMS Iowa.
Yeah.
And he said that's one of the greatest sacrifices is to sacrifice your youth, you know? Because we could have done anything and all kinds of things, but we sacrifice our youth for the Lord. What's up, brother? How you doing?
I want to interrupt.
Oh, okay, yes, sir. Hey, let us know if you got any questions.
12 tribes of Israel? I didn't know there was that many.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yep. Are you familiar with the Bible or anything? Like, you believe in it?
To an extent. I go to church sometimes on Sundays.
Right. So hey, really, those churches, the best church really is right here, because you are a church. You're a temple. You're a temple of the Most High. I don't know if they ever taught you that in the church.
Our body is a temple
Yeah, there
that
you
the
go.
Lord dwelleth within.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, man. I go to church sometimes, and I feel like I'm very blessed because I have food, water, and a roof over my head. It's warm. As long as I keep the window closed, it stays warm where I live.
Yeah.
And I feel very blessed not to be homeless, because I was homeless 2-3 times in Columbus. So,
That's a blessing.
and I just got tired of drinking drinking too much. And suddenly, just one day, I'm like, 1 or 2 beers and I'm okay. I just went moderate. I went from a hard drinker to a moderate drinker.
Nice.
I haven't been drunk in almost 2 years now.
Nice.
That takes a lot.
That's a
man.
blessing. God
Congratulations.
must love me then, if he did that for me.
You see it? I'm sorry, brother.
He did all that. All my blessings. I got clothes.
Did you pay attention to the 12 tribes? What's your background?
Part Latin.
Well, what's your father?
My father's mixed European. And
Oh,
my mother is Latin.
All right. Well,
Latino?
Well, if you go to Numbers, the 18th chapter deals with your father's lineage, and through the Spirit, we might believe that we think that you're an Israelite, because we don't go off skin complexion. We just go through the Spirit, and we just read that scripture in Romans the 8th chapter. All right. So, you're going through hell. Read Deuteronomy 28th chapter, the curses. And you see, got the little vape joint going. But you know, you got
This is helping me quit cigarettes. I'm doing this less and less, and as I become almost smoke-free, I taste food better. I smell food
brother.
and different things. I can smell better. I can taste better, and I breathe better. I breathe better too.
Hey, for real. Congratulations. That takes a lot.
yeah, it takes a lot. I
I
battle
know.
that. I battle that. So
I smoked cigarettes for like 20-something years.
But
I've finally been quit.
We're gonna go back to the scriptures. If you got any questions though,
Oh no, I'm cool.
yeah, okay. You can listen though, you know, if you want.
Oh,
I'm just gonna, you know,
yeah.
get back to reading. You got it.
Back in 1 Peter 4, I read verse 2 again. It says that he no longer shall live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of the Most High.
Hey, that's the spirit. Hey, even this brother, you know, quit certain things, you know. Some things, when you come to the truth, you gotta stop. You know what I
keep
mean?
the temple clean.
Right, yeah. Perfect. No, you got it.
Verse 3 says, for the time past of our life may suffice us to have wrought the will of the Gentiles when we walked in lasciviousness, lust, excess of wine, revelings, banquetings, and abominable idolatries, wherein they think it's strange that you run not with them to the same excess of riot, speaking evil of you.
Right. Hey, the Lord truly blessed us, man, the ones that's in the truth, because we was Gentiles, man. You know, of course we physically Israelites, but we had that Gentile state of mind. And that's something hard to get out of. You know what I mean? Jake was in that American mindset, that Greek mindset, that Egyptian mindset, and Muslim mindset, all that bullshit, you know? But the Lord gave us that light, and time by time, you know, sometimes, you know, you might have a habit that you had in the world. It might take time to get rid of. But the Lord, you know, if you're really truly trying your best and praying and having faith, the Lord's gonna help you get rid of that shit and serve Him better and better, you know?
Real quick. This is Ephesians 5 and 7. It says, be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in Yahweh. Right, so like I said, that's in that same position. Like I said, be ye not like them. You know, we once were in that same darkness, you know, but now we are children of the light. We have to show forth that light, you know, in the planet. You know? Real quickly more, it says, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth. It says, proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh. It says, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto Yahweh.
Right. You see that's going back to the will of the Lord. That's how do you know the will of the Lord? First of all, the prophets got to teach you, but where are the prophets getting this knowledge from? From the scriptures, from the word. The word will teach you what is displeasing to the Lord and what's pleasing to the Lord. You know what I mean? But when we was in the world, when we was Gentiles, we didn't know that. We thought maybe if I don't cuss, that won't piss the Lord off. Or maybe if I go to church every Sunday, whatever. But now we got the understanding. Now we know that we gotta, you know, grow our beard out, teach the word, believe, you know, so on and so forth. You know, the Lord gave us the complete breakdown. You know?
have faith.
Yep.
It says, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Right. Can't be around too much of a fruits of let's say darkness. God.
Unfruitful works of darkness.
Right. But reprove them, to cuss their ass out, rebuke them. That's what we're doing now. You know, that's what people got a problem with. But scripture says what? To show you my people their sins and their transgression. You know? But let's go back to that, because oh, you got more? Alright, come on. Because I forgot about that Hebrews 2. Bible shot, yeah.
Hebrews 2, chapter 7. Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownest him with glory and honor.
Right, talking about Yahushua, you know, you got it.
And didst set him over the works of thy hands.
Right, so like, give you that again from the top. Okay.
Thou madest him a little lower than the angels.
Mm-hmm.
Thou crownest him with glory and honor.
Right, because Yahushua, you know, he came on, really, he's the top angel. You know what I'm saying? The one on the right hand side of the Most High. But he humbled, what is that? Philippians says he lowered himself He came like a man, you know, in the flesh, you know, but he came in the flesh for our sake, to suffer. But you got it.
And didst set him over the works of thy hands. Thou hast put all the things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all the things put under him.
Right, because we don't see that yet, because the wickedness is ruling right now. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got homos. Because when your house shot come back, ain't gonna be none of that shit. Homosexuals and adultery, idolatry, all that bullshit. You know, it's gonna be complete righteousness. You know, but you got it.
But we see Yahushua was who was made a little lower than the angels for suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of Yahweh should taste death for every man.
Right, every man, every Israelite man, because he ain't died for the other nations, right? But he takes death for us because he's the only one that's worthy for that sacrifice. None of us, the most righteous of our nation, is not worthy because we still got sin, you know? But you got it.
For it became him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory.
Right, and ultimately, because like I said, because of our sin being worthy, but also because why? Because there's only one true high priest in the heavens, which is who? Yahushua. You know what I mean? So he was ordained from the beginning. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna have two high priests, or a whole nation of high priests. You know, he was the only one that can go to the holies of holies and, you know, talk to the Lord, Yahweh face to face, at his right hand, all that. All right, but can you read that part again? Where it says the sons of glory, sons to glory. It was that the very last one we read.
Oh, but we see Yahushua, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of Yahweh should taste death for every man. For it became him for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, and bringing many sons unto glory.
Right, bringing many sons to glory. How?
To make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings.
Right, through suffering. So Yahushua is the ultimate sufferer, the one that was the beast that was suffering. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do the same thing. Hey, Lord willing, hey, what do you say? Leave rejoice, because your reward is great in heaven. You know?
2 Timothy 2:12 says, if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us.
Right, because if you speak in a carnal manner, if somebody so-called make it and have a lot of money, if you had, what they call it, what the niggas say, day one, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll get rich, and then you get, you know, you gonna look out for your so-called day ones. Same thing with Yahushua. If you suffer with him, you also gonna reign with him, you know? But those niggas that didn't suffer with Yahushua, he gonna be like, I don't know you, you know? But you got it.
That stems from the heavens, really, that mindset. You know, putting your day ones on, that's what Yahushua doing. You know what I'm saying? And niggas always say that shit. You ain't starving with me, so you ain't gonna eat with me. You know what I'm saying?
You got the
Hebrews chapter 2, verse 11. For both he that sanctifieth and they who are sanctified are all of one. For which cause he is not ashamed to call them brethren.
Right, the Lord ain't ashamed. Yahushua is not ashamed to call us brethren, because we ones that actually, really the only ones actually really suffering from it. Everybody in the whole world is ashamed of it. You got these damn other a lot of that bullshit. But you got these other different Israelite camps bullshitting. They really, and ultimately, they don't believe in the Lord. They ashamed. They got bored of the actual scriptures, so then they try to twist things and make them more interesting for the younger groups and try to make it more flashy and fun. But hey man, sometimes it's tedious. Sometimes it can be a little boring, but it don't matter. Because if you're a true righteous man, you're gonna eat. Because hey, even what is a saying? You eat food not for the taste. I forgot how it goes. You know, because certain food can be nasty. Some food can be kind of bland, can be bitter. But you're gonna eat it any goddamn way because it's good for you. And then ultimately, you're gonna enjoy it anyway because it's gonna give you gains. It's gonna give you your protein, your nutrients. That's the
Energy.
scriptures.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. They're what's my man's name? I forget his name. Not Deacon Hakab, the other one.
And real quick, so like my phone.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I just wanna, cause I said it was boring, but I don't wanna say the truth is boring, cause it's fun. But it's just like sometimes it get kind of repetitive. I just wanna make it clear.
Yeah.
Right.
Word.
Yeah.
Strenuous, it's tiresome. You know, you get tired of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Shit.
Yeah, we in the
They
flesh.
ain't trying to teach niggas all our damn, you know what I'm saying? Damn lives. You know? Brothers tired. But we enjoy it.
It's cold.
It's not a burden. It's boring, but we enjoy it.
That's all you got.
To some. And sometimes it's very creative when you really sit and go down that rabbit hole with understanding. Rather say we don't live to eat, we eat to live. You know what I'm saying? It's true. You know what I'm saying? This is life. You know what I'm saying? So we can eat. We say we need to eat. That's why the scripture is tied to things that nourish you.
Living water.
Comforter.
Bread. The essentials.
Yeah, the essential. Yeah, nice.
That's why we eat and drink Yahweh Shah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Them dudes in John 6.
That's it. That's why we eat the bitters.
They got a thing like, told me about your bicep. But that's how Jake was thinking. He was calling.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like.
And like, like you say, dealing with the essentials. Sometimes it's the essential. You don't want to eat, the same meal every day, but you got to, But it's nourish. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of it, but it's still your nourishment. So you got to go to it to live.
That's why them bodybuilder niggas be eating rice and chicken all day long. 7, 8 meals. I'd die if I had to eat all that. I won't say gluttonous because they're working towards something. That's why we eat the bitter herbs. I was trying to make a point. That's why we eat the bitter herbs. To remind you of something. The nigga want to eat some romaine lettuce. Fuck you talking about? That's not bitter. Because that bitterness is supposed to remind you of something, man, which is captivity.
That's why scripture sometimes is bitter.
Yeah.
That's why that Chinese proverb says pretty much in so many words that things that are bitter is really medicine. You notice that when you eat medicine, like it's bitter, nasty. Especially when you was a kid. They even have some bullshit medicine. Mama used to bullshit and shit. Nasty. I gotta trick you and shit. But hey, it's bitter. But hey, it's good for you though. You see? You can't be always constantly eating sweet shit all the damn. Trust me, I know. That shit fuck your teeth up, man. Make you gain weight, fuck your teeth up. All kinds of bullshit. That's going back to America. Because America, they living deliciously. Everything tastes fucking good. The fucking but guess what? Just a little side note, we're gonna go back on track, but even like chips or something, that might taste really good, but they got chemicals in that shit to where you eat it and your brain want more. So you're really never satisfied. So it's like, it's trash, man. You about to say something?
Oh no, I was gonna say when you first start reading the scriptures, it be cutting you.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Cutting. That's why most people don't want to read. It's like nah. They want to stay with the good stuff like this.
That's why last week Jake had his little shorty with him. It was getting too hot in the kitchen because that's the bitterness of the scriptures. Everybody want to say everybody's going to be alone, everybody's going to be saved. That's what he probably wanted to hear from us. Nah, man, we just going to fall into the Lord's word, how about you now shot. And it's bitter because you're going to, like I said, you're going to have family members that's going to visit the spirit world. Probably in a nasty way, man, but you got to prepare yourself for that. It's scary, but it's the Lord's business.
Just like Ezekiel, whenever his wife got, the Lord took out, and he said, hey, don't cry, put a mantle around your face, Go out there and go prophesy. You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy. That's heavy. That's heavy.
That was the last verse, right?
No, that was 2 more verses. Oh
Finish
yeah.
that out.
Hebrews chapter 2, verse 12, saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the church will I sing praise unto thee.
Right, so the Lord said in the midst in the congregation, I'm gonna declare your name. So the Lord always brought out that name. That's why you got different camps again, saying the name don't matter, or the name is higher, all the other kind of, madness. But no, you gotta proclaim the name of the Lord, Yahweh and his son, Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? But you got it.
And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children of which God has given me.
The children of God has given me, because we in the hands of Yahweh Shai. Now, anybody got any more precepts? Because I wanna go back to that. No keys, we never even touched it. We mentioned it, but anybody got anything? Okay, we're gonna switch back. It's a lot here. See, hey, but that's the spirit though. Because sometimes that happens. Sometimes you want to start with something and then it kind of just goes somewhere else, But Lord willing, I'm gonna go on to where I wanted originally going to in the beginning. You can get that real quick.
Just bring up the article.
Yeah, just like what it is.
Oh yeah.
It might be good. Oh, that's it. Jesus saved. I thought he was protesting that. But you got it.
Okay, this is just a quick Google search on it. It says No Kings Protest. It says No Kings Protest, also known internationally as the No Dictators or No Tyrants Protest, and it is a series of demonstrations largely in the United States against what the organizers describe as authoritarian policies of Donald Trump and the corruption in his administration.
Right. Now we're going, going to a little prophecy because when I was in Cincinnati, I seen that shit. I was like, oh, what the hell? There was all this No King shit because I remember they did that shit like a couple months ago.
Protesting?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So it seemed like they picking that shit back up. I heard it's gonna go more worldwide and shit. But yeah, man, because they calling your boy Trump a dictator, and he is starting to become more and more aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember I seen this video. I gotta do a video on it. I gotta do more study on it. I like that. I'm gonna take that right there. Don't mind. But I seen the video. They compared Trump to like Hitler, and how pretty much how Hitler at first he was bringing out troops to in the land and shit. And they're comparing that to ICE in the National Guard. I forgot. I don't know the complete details. But I'm gonna get a little more details and make a video on it. But this man, the Lord really put hook in this nigga's jaws, and he's really becoming more like, he's showing his horns pretty much,
This is Isaiah 19, and it says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh of hosts. Right, we know also, prophetically, this is speaking of Babylon the Great, New Egypt. Okay, as you go into this, this account, pretty much, the Lord is prophesying, concerning, Babylon the Great, America. Okay, and in the end, he was going to give over to a cruel Lord. All right, through his spirit, we believe, as of now, that Trump is fulfilling that role as the cruel Lord, man. You see, and you see it in the earth. Here it is. This man has promoted peace. He has promoted safety, tranquility, the golden age of America, but he has been the complete opposite, man.
Yeah.
To the point where now his own supporters, the MAGAs, are against him.
MAGA hatters.
Yeah, the MAGAs, they're protesting and F Trump. You got big ass 8x4 flags and shit. Fuck Trump, But the remembrance of the Trump flag and all that. I seen a video. I seen a truck yesterday riding downtown. Dude had TVs, like three 60-inch TVs on his tailgate. You know what I'm saying? Just promoting the different little, you know, some bombings and some more shit, you know what I'm saying, about churches during the protests and stuff.
Yeah, they got Duke. America got Duke.
So yeah, man, hey, we're seeing it, all right? And ultimately, you know, when you dive into it further, dealing with Revelation the 13th chapter, all right? The Lord, you know, is about to have this man speak as a dragon, man. Those Ukrainian laws, about to be pushed to Babylon to invade America, man. And all the pieces of it is there. Civilians, you know, the T's, the TER, you know, risk. All right? So, you know, through the Spirit, the Lord has swayed the mind of Esau Edom, man. Okay, he's about to come down with that wrath. It's beautiful, bro. The water your high
Why?
you motherfuckers about to feel it, man.
You're already feeling it. Especially you women and children. Y'all feeling it.
The government shutdowns.
Yep, that's still shut down. That's the longest shutdown I've ever seen.
No EBT November.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Down.
The rent. Yeah. Niggas gonna be getting evicted soon because they relying on the government system.
The old suffering, they about to suffer too. Like with that big bill, big beautiful bill. What was it, Medicaid? Or Medicaid or Medicaid? I forgot which
It's
one.
Medicaid.
Medicaid.
It's still in that act. I think that was an act with Barack Obama.
Isaiah 19 and 1 says, the burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud. We're going into this chariot cycle, you know, is ramping up. See, the Lord in it is showing himself, man. It says, it shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Right, you know, he's about to destroy all of the idols of Babylon. All right, once he touches it, once he invades this planet, man, it's over. You know? Verse 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, right? You see that happening as well.
Yeah.
You know, the civil wars blowing up, you know, so on and so forth, man. It says, and they shall...
Real quick, you seen that video of that bitch, I don't know what the fuck position she is in the government, but she's doing something with the ICE, that little skinny bitch. She always had a hat, and she did a video, she was outside, and had a little dummy connected to the chair, and she was like, I shot the dummy in the head, this is what we do to people, Democrats or some shit, they, you know, they really about to really get violent.
Yeah.
Egyptian against Egyptian, you know? She got it.
They shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Right now, blue states, red states, you know, liberals, and you know, all these different ethnic groups, subgroups,
BLM.
you know. And it's gonna be a point where people about to start taking sides, man. You know, you already know how niggas get niggas be about ready to kill each other over a Browns game.
Yeah,
You
right.
ready to blow 50 cups over some weekend over American football, man.
Yeah.
Don't let niggas start talking about politics. Niggas, that's why niggas that died, hey, man. You vote? No, nigga. No, I didn't vote, man. Fuck all that shit. All that shit's bogus, man. You know, niggas, you know what I'm saying? Shit, all right, look at today is dim as shit, man. It's anarchy, man. You know, but hey, we see, man, we about to get rules where we could be up out of here soon, bro. We just need, you know what I'm saying? Because really, like I said, the pieces to all the major prophecies are here.
Yep.
They just gotta connect, man.
Yep.
You know?
It wasn't gonna work. It wasn't. Through the spirit, wasn't gonna work through the Biden administration because Biden was a sleepy Joe.
He's not even awake.
Nigga was asleep.
Then you got that weak bitch.
Kamala Harris. So it wasn't.
Trying to have shit, man. And the Lord got Esau. Hey, the Lord is just destroying Edom, man. Your shit is failing, bro.
Right, that's right.
Why do you how about Shusha? Your shit is failing right before our eyes, man.
You gotta think about it. Yeah, remember that shit? Let's go, Brandon, which was symbolism saying fuck Brandon.
Joe Biden, yeah.
Joe Biden. So you had a whole 4 years, people was mad at this idiot for ruling. Then Trump came in, he did so far good in the first couple of weeks. Now now they back on that shit.
Yeah.
So now you got 2 terms straight of displeasure. Like, oh, these niggas are doing a horrible job. So this place. But it just show you like it's just no like they try to bring it back to life, but it failed.
Yeah, you try to put the hook, you try to put the joints, the defibrillator joints on the chest. America is done. There's no remedy for America. Only remedy for America is fucking missiles, man.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 7.
Yeah.
It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. Right, so the Lord used this place as an instrument, man. You know? It says, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, you seeing that? Nations are mad, man. You know? They tapped into Edom's philosophies, the philosophies of the serpent, you know, the sons of the wicked, okay? And now they're mad. It says, verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Right? But like the scripture say, Babylon isn't going to be healed. You know? Like we said, this place is suddenly destroyed. See? The Lord is destroying this kingdom piece by piece, man. Verse 9. It says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Right. This place, there's no healing this place. So it doesn't matter who comes in the ark. None of them is going to be able to fix what's going on in Babylon the Great. Biden didn't do it. And then niggas got the audacity. They'd be like, and I be seeing this a lot too with niggas now. It's these leftists, these niggas who voted for Kamala and Biden.
Yeah.
I told you so niggas, man. Talking about Trump.
Oh yeah.
See, this what happen when niggas don't vote. This what happen when, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. See, we told y'all Trump was with. See? But Biden wasn't doing shit either.
Yeah, them Democrats ain't doing a goddamn thing. I mean, like I said, you look on the blue side, they didn't do anything. Just like they didn't do anything like Barack Obama for 8 years. That nigga ain't do shit. Only thing, the biggest accomplishment Barack Obama did was he made momos marry. They can marry each other, and they took troops out of Afghanistan. You know, after that, that was it. That was nothing. You know, that's some weak shit. You know, Trump, he trying to make America great again, which that means he's trying to put you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans back into slavery. You know,
right?
And you see with Trump, because this nigga, he accomplished what? He say he ended 8 wars in 9 months. But what about your damn citizens? Your citizens is suffering. You over here worrying about Israel and all these other niggas, man. That's the problem. That's that Habakkuk too. Says his feet never keep at home. That's how Rome fell, because you was spread too damn thin.
Yep.
You should worry about your own self. You trying to solve everybody's problems but your own. That's why your own citizens want your head pretty much. You know?
Continue, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Right, so like I said, it's no healing this place, no matter who come in this bitch. They ain't gonna be healed. They ain't gonna be healed. No one's about to, come into, the presidential office and fix everything. It's over.
The Oval Office.
It has become, the infection spread too much, man. So now you're just gonna have to die slow. That's what's happening, man. But the Lord, but now that this is the heart, whatever. It's beating a little faster, man. The Lord's speeding up the time. Yeah, heart monitor, so you dying quicker, man. You're on your last leg, man. That's why Jay got the one, like our old picture.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about. No, that's Daddy, isn't it?
Uncle Tom.
Uncle Tom, yeah, because the government.
Uncle Tom,
yeah,
nigga,
Uncle
with
Tom.
the hit with the figure.
Yeah. That's what I thought about when I thought about the campaign, though. Like, the nigga try to, we want you, the government nigga. Look like Andrew Jackson, so to speak.
Sam.
Yeah, Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam, there it is. Yeah. Uncle Sam. Yeah, the crab, KFC chicken, all y'all niggas are through.
Jumping back to Isaiah 19, it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." Right, talking into that left-hand energy, man. They're trying to resort, to the left hand, but the left is just failing them, man. It has reached its point. This is as much as you can get, Edom. That's all we can do. It has a limit. Because wickedness wasn't intended to rule the planet Earth. Righteousness was. Okay, and wickedness, via Esau, Edom has been spread in the earth and has ran its course. Right? Like I was telling the elder about 2 days ago, last week, we about to enter into that happily ever after chapter of the movie, man. It's a movie, everything, the turmoil, you go through the struggle, you learn, you got life lessons, you figure everything out in the end, then that you live happily ever after, man. So again, wickedness has played its course in the earth, man. See, Esau, he trying his best to try to hold on, he tapping into that left hand, even more with the AI, all that, trying to get answers, from artificial intelligence. Okay? But it's all for now.
Just to back you up, brother. Job 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
Right, his days are determined, man. Meaning he has a set date. Put your 2 weeks in,
It said, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
Right. Lord appointed his bounds which he cannot pass. It's a certain point that this devil isn't going to be able to cross. You playing GTA 5, you try to, you on a boat, and you try to go as far as you can.
Yeah.
And then that's what it stops. Y'all saw this, so like, damn, you see an island in the distance, but you can't keep it. That's how it is with Edom, man.
Yep.
It's the so-called white man. He just going as far as he can, man, but that invisible wall is just hindering him from going any further. And that's what we're seeing, man. It's over.
Right.
We're stuck.
I'm talking about that remember they was fighting in the warehouse. Say, your ass is through. I'm talking about the big ass nigga. Your ass is through, man. Esau is through, man. You know what I mean? Because this, like again, where the scripture says your house is continue forever. Every kingdom thought that shit. When Egyptians, you think they wanted to fall? You think the Romans wanted to fall? The Greeks? But they all got voted by the Lord. Because hey, your time is up. Now I'm gonna have the other people here.
That's right. And if you think about the all the periods of the kingdoms, it's an average of about 250 years. And the United States Marine Corps just celebrated 250 years. So you can just think about that, and you can gauge after that, man. 250 years. I'm not doing no fucking math. I'm not no mathematician, but I forget what year the Marine Corps was developed in America, but 1775 was the United States Army. I know that enough, but you can just gauge that. 20, 50 years, man, pretty much damn near over, man. Enjoy it. Lamentations, the 4th chapter. Enjoy yourself. Because right now, excuse me, I'm sorry. Enjoy yourself, because you're gonna have to live it up, because this place is done. It's ran its course. All right. The Lord don't need you crackers no more. Now he's gonna need you for slavery for a period of time.
Now he needs you to fix the damage.
Woo. And
Job 12:23 says, He increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again.
Hey, because the Lord made this place mighty. Remember we went to that class showing how America pretty much took this shit and then got rich and then made the whole world go follow after the American dollar, and then we put on the other nations, and the other nations are great because of America, and that's just true. You know, I hate this place, but speaking non-biased, that has to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's why, and then on top of that, what's that's gonna cause? We probably wrap up too, because it's about to like start to come down. But then what that caused? That caused
it's like a domino effect.
or it caused Edom to get proud. Because now, hey, I put you nations on. Y'all niggas ain't shit without me because of my dollar, because of my democracy. You know what I'm saying? But it's perfect though, because the Lord's setting it all up.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Now he's done with you. He already made you fat. He made you, you know, he seasoned you up. Now it's time to eat. I don't need you no more. You see, now you about to get in my belly. You know, metaphor.
Genesis 27:38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above.
Hey, don't this man have the fatness of the earth? He really, of America. This is a fat land. It got gold, especially in California. They took that shit from Gad and Issachar. Can't forget about Issachar a lot. A couple parts of America is Issachars too, like Texas, California,
Arizona.
shit like that. Yeah, Arizona. Then on top of that, then you go abroad out of America. You go to any country, you go either go see an Edomite or a nigger woman, because they got the fatness of the earth. You know what I'm saying? They're everywhere. They in fucking Thailand. And New Zealand and all kinds of shit. You see? They got the best of everything. They billionaires, all that. They got a whole islands where they can play with little children and shit. You know? That was it.
Yeah, just to back up.
You got it. Yeah. Read this, you got one?
I have Revelation 18, but
You can read that and then read this.
yeah. This is Revelation. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Revelation 18. I'm gonna start at 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled to her double. So, hey, Esau gonna catch 2 feet in his ass, man. All right. Oh yeah. I try to get into the frame. It says. I didn't want. I wanted the. Oh yeah, because we was talking about the dollar. I wanted to just get to the point. Revelation 18. 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. That's talking about when the missiles hit this place. They're gonna be mad. They're gonna be pissed off, because guess what? When that dollar, which the dollar is collapsed, all right, the federal government is done, all right. When that pops off, they're gonna be like, they be crying and shit. They're gonna be wailing. Some might be happy. We're gonna be happy. The whole let's gonna be happy. when this place goes down, but they're gonna be wailing because they know when that falls down, it's gonna be creating a domino effect for all these other nations, NATO, EU, BRICS, what have you, because America is an enterprise. All right, it's a big fucking
Corporation.
God, what's the word? Business.
Corporation.
My man, the water. Thank you. All right, and let's say, bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, saying to fall off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, which is this mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And that judgment is going to be destruction via nuclear missiles. And I can stop there. Let's start raining.
So Job 18, starting at verse 5, it says, yeah, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine.
Right, his light, because he got influence of the whole earth. He got the whole earth in his hands. That's why you got nations in different countries, India, even traditional nations, Muslim nations, all kind of African nations. They trying to follow after this place, trying to have the women take off the head thing and shake booty. Yeah, you got the suits, you got niggas cutting their beards off, you know, all that. You know, democracy, women, all that bullshit. Pay attention to Christianity, but you got it.
Verse 6 it says, the light shall be dark, and his tabernacle and his candles shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down.
That's talking about the nation, EU, NATO, because they're gonna take part in tearing this place up too. All right.
Verse 8 it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare.
Right, because you laid a snare for the whole earth to be in this fullest height of wickedness. And now everybody's wicked, and then they're gonna turn on you. Now that's how you gonna decay. Because wickedness is nothing but decay and death. You can't thrive off that shit. You're gonna thrive off it for maybe a couple hundred years, but eventually that shit gonna end. You know?
Verse 9 it says, the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him.
The jinn goes to the traps, you know, like catching an animal, you know? You got it.
The snare is laid for him in the ground, and the trap for him in the way.
Right, because you got who laid that snare? Yahweh shot. Because if you read Psalm 70, I think 71. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Mario and shit.
Yeah.
Verse 11.
Oh, I know what to do. Come on, man. I forget though. The little F on man.
He had the hoodie to spit out his princes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's my man.
His name was Gadget. I think it was Gadget.
Yeah, something like that.
He was born in the 80s like me. Back in Job 18 verse 11, it says, terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side.
Right, that's the main point. His strength is going to be hunger bitten. He's going to lose his strength. It's not going to be great again. He's decaying. The presidents look horrible. So if your president is looking horrible and the whole world is looking at you, laughing at you, how much more the subjects or the people that's walking around, the trash, everything is gone. It's horrible. There's no more light. There's no more entertainment. There's no more nothing. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that really is making noise now is really the Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Because this place is almost out of here. You see? Yeah, that's pretty much the point. You like anything else? You're not good? God. With that, hope you edifying. We'll give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shad, Bahashim, Rakakudah.
if I see you, Master Uga, so it's a big man, so it's continue to work with the Lord. That we're going to say shalom.
Shalom, the Bible Ball.
Good.